Alright, hello guys, it's Mixer, and today I'll be talking about the roller I am holding right now, which is none other than a big swig roller. As someone who has played swig roller for a couple of months, I'll be going over the positives, comparing it to similar weapons like a dynamo roller, and talking about what mode it excels in. If you like my content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. So with everything there, I'll just jump into the video. So the first thing I want to mention before talking about the main weapon is the swig roller's playstyle. The swig roller is a painting weapon, so basically a support. It will be painting a lot and keeping its distance while painting. It also does assist teammates and fights as well with the chip damage. So basically Splatoon 1 Dynamo, kinda. Which, well, I'm all in for that, so yeah. So, anyways, with everything out of the way, we're gonna start with this. Swig is a really good main weapon, and here is why. So, we're gonna start with the paint right here. I'll show you here. This is one flick. This is the best main paint in the game. You see right here, this is a single flick. It does paint in a burst. Like that. And we're going to compare this to something like Splattershot Jr. It's like that's about in the swig flick. And then you see that. This burst paint is better than just this. While it painting a wide path as well. It is significantly better than Junior. Even though Junior can paint his feet better, but it doesn't matter for the swig. Because it can paint its feet by rolling. So yeah, it significantly outpaints Junior. It has good burst paint, it paints out of range. And yeah, and then the painting range. We're gonna go over here real quick. Okay, so let's see here. This is Slosher's attacking range, by the way. So let's get the Slosher. It's like, let's go back here. Yeah. So it's like you could stand over here, keep a Slosher back from approaching you. And this also applies to anything that's short range as well. Oh yeah, because it paints well, you'll get special super fast, which I'm going to talk about the kits later. And then the next thing I'm going to mention is that it also has really good ink efficiency. So you get 10 flicks before needing to refill. Oh yeah, in the whiting frame is little, as you see there. It's so small that you can refill very quickly after painting. So let's say you're painting a spot zone on, well, spot zones, and you are low in ink, you can refill and paint again quickly. And it just makes it a valuable zones niche. Well, especially this one, which, again, I'll talk about the kits later. Alright, we're gonna go over the swig flicks. Horizontal flick? The horizontal flick on this thing is two things. It's paint, of course. And it does reliable damage. So, I'm going to show you here. This is the widest hitbox in the game. It's wider than Octobrush. Like, here, let me get this weapon real quick. If I can get Octobrush. Actually. Okay, there we go. Octobrush cannot even hit these two. It can only hit one of them. And then we get the swig roller. It can hit both of them. Because the hitbox is wide. And not only that, it reaches farther than Octobrush. So let's get this weapon again. You can't even hit opponents at that range with this. So you have to go closer. And its 40 damage range is less than a line away. And swig is gonna be farther back doing a reliable 35 damage. While painting the whole match. And yes, I'm not kidding. You literally paint while doing 35 damage. Like, here, look at this, for example. Well, the damage is worse if you're flicking upwards. Like you see there. You literally do it while painting. And it may not seem like much, but it's actually a lot. And because of the insane paint, you can get someone stuck easily. Because the swig paints insanely well. So yeah, it's what you want to do with this. You want to paint. You want to keep opponents back with this. So yeah, that's already good. Okay, the vertical flick. It does good damage and reaches pretty far for how quick it is. So first I want to talk about the damage. It does good damage. It does 50 damage from this range. It'll one hit from probably a little farther back. Around here. I would say a line and a half. Yeah, about a line and a half away. Which is pretty good for how fast this thing is. I think it's only slightly less than Spot Roller, but this roller is quicker than Spot Roller, so it doesn't matter. And because it's doing 50 at this range, you can literally double vertical kill from that range. Which is, again, about Slosher's killing range. Okay, we're going to look at the painting range on this. And the weapon I'm going to compare this to is the ballpoint splatling. So you see, here's a swig. And then let's get the ballpoint. I want to stay parallel with the line real quick. It's not much different. Like you see here, it's only, the ballpoint's only slightly longer. It's like this right here, because of its painting range, it's gonna allow you to keep stuff like heavy splatling back. And then if you need to back up, you can like keep it heavy back and then you can roll backwards as well. Like that, for example. Okay, I want to compare this to the curling bomb. So we're going to stand at this line. So you see there. And then, okay, we can just use paintbrush. Okay. And then, here's curling. It goes all the way here. You're using 70% of your ink tank for this. While this right here is only 10%. You can literally move around while using less ink, like this. So, if you want to move quickly with the swig, you have a vertical flick for that reason. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is the object damage. In one of the previous patches, it got double the damage to any objects in the game. So, we're going to get my chart real quick. Okay, so this is my object damage chart here. So like you see Splatbrella, like you can see the multipliers here. So like Splatbrella is 3.4, and I have to do the math here, and that's how much damage it'll actually do. But we can take a look at some important ones. For example, like Rainmaker Barrier, 1000 HP. It does 3.6 times. So like it's gonna do 432 per hit. And then, so we're gonna go into Recon real quick, and I'm just gonna show you. So it does. It can 4 hit from 64 damage range. So that's already good. It's like with the max damage, it can literally 3-hit it. It can 3-shot Rainmaker, and I think without Object Shredder too. But it's a lot more efficient with Object Shredder. And I think that's already insane. Alright, so here we are on Hagelfish Rainmaker Recon. I'm going to show you... This is without Object Shredder, by the way. It can still... Even without Object Shredder, it can still get it. And then next I'm going to show you with Object Shredder. Okay, so this is giving me with Object Shredder. So let's take a look here. This is 2 hits and it's almost already popped. So you can literally do it from far away, which is already insane as is. It's like 475 times 2 is 950. And this has 1000 HP, so you can almost 2-hit Rainmaker with this. Okay, we're going to reset it, and I'm going to show you the 4-hit range. So let me get back over there quickly. So its 64 damage range is about here. Well, probably like back here. Yeah, it's probably back here. It can pop even from there with Object Shredder. So maybe it's more. So we're gonna reset it again. So I guess it's a good thing I demonstrated that. It can 3-shot from there too. But you want to be closer if you want to do more significant damage. So over here actually. Boom. Just like that. And then I want to show you the max damage range. Seven, which is not as much. But if you get closer, it'll significantly change. So, like, you don't want to be far away while popping the Rainmaker. You actually want to be closer. Like what I showed you, for example. So, like, a swig team should usually win the pop. And someone like I know ProChar mentioned that, like, a big swig literally out-popping 2 Splatanas, which is hilarious. Like, you see a swig just doing that to Rainmaker. And if you... Let's say you're a team that does not have great object damage. You want to back away from a swig team doing this. You gotta respect it. Otherwise, you'll die to the pop. People may not expect swig having this insane object damage, but eventually they will learn about how much damage this actually does to it. And it's already insane as is, without Object Shredder. Alright, we're gonna go back to your chart. Okay, so another thing I want to mention is Crab Tank. So, like, let's say you're fighting a Splash. It's like, this is how much damage it does to Crab Tank right here. It does, well, it does 336 for the max damage. The minimum damage is 112. And if you want to shred it in 3 hits, then you have to be at 55 damage range. With Object Shredder. So it's like, let's say you aggro a Splash. It's actually better for them to not pop Crab. Because the swig will just shred the Crab. And then and it will bop it in the head due to its end lag after the Crab's destroyed. And it's hilarious. It's like, this is a weapon that can actually take advantage against Splash. Only because of that. And dualies as well. Let's say your dualies decide to panic Crab, you can literally you literally have an advantage over them, actually. But we know Splash is a more common pick right now because it's just a lot better as a main weapon. And then, Booyah Bomb. You see this here? It does 2.86 times to a Booyah Bomb. So, like, it's going to do 343 for the max hit. 377.52 if you have Object Shredder. And you can 3-hit it at 50 damage range. But however, it says also because 100 plus damage, it will count as the opponent having the armor. So it can 100% one-hit KO them as they land even at max range. So this tells us that it Booyah attacks. Or the Booyah glitch. So as they land, they still have the armor, and I can inflict 100 damage to them, even at max range. So that's a thing it can do. Rollers can Booyah attack, but the swig has way better multipliers. So it's literally going to do better. It is significantly better than the other rollers because of that. And it's insane as is. So we see Wavebreaker there. And then Big Bubbler. Then the Tentabrella. You see all the Brellas here. And then Splash Wall. I don't know if I got the Splash Wall correct. Let me know in the comments below if I got it correct or not. But yeah. If you want a longer look at this list, then you can pause it. Okay, next, I want to talk about the swig in comparing it to something like the Dynamo Roller. Okay, so we know that swig has a lot of positive things that it has. We know it paints a lot. It paints in a burst. And ink efficiency ink efficiency is great. Mobility is great. It has good object damage. And the vertical flick does damage and paints far away. Okay, so now we're going to be grabbing the Dynamo Roller. So, this is the longest range roller in the game. But the main weapon has too many weaknesses. It's mediocre as a main weapon. The only strengths this thing has is range and pressure. That's about it. It's not good at what it wants to do. So the first thing I want to go over, it takes a lot of ink. It takes 18% while being slow. It's very ink hungry. You'll be running out of ink a lot if you're always using the ink. And even with main saver, it doesn't feel much different. So that's already not a good start. So like, it is slow. So like, let me turn on the copy machine real quick. Let's say I'm getting bombed and I flick. It's really easy to get poked or even killed by this thing. Let's say someone threw a bomb at mid-flick. You're guaranteed to die. So like, you would really have to be careful with it. But other than that, yeah, it's really easy to die from that. And a charge, if you play Dynamo for a while, you know the nightmare against chargers. They could just shoot you mid-flick. Because this thing is so damn slow. And for how slow Dynamo is, the damage is not very reliable. It has one of the slowest DPS. Like you see there. I mean, sure, it can do damage at a huge range, but it's not that reliable if it's very slow. And you're very guaranteed to back someone up, but like, still not great. The only reason to play this over swig is the pressure power. However, though, this thing exists right here. This weapon can literally apply a lot of pressure from a distance. It can arc as well, obviously, because it's a slosher. It's less ink hungry and is faster than Dynamo Roller as well. So like you see, I can admit that the DPS is slower, but the damage is a lot more reliable. It does 35 per indirect while you're pressuring them. And it'll do 55 for a direct, so like, let's see here. But however, it's pretty unreliable if you're trying to hit someone midair like that. And hitting both of them does 90. Like right there. And Explosher is just the overall better main weapon. So people are going to prefer playing Explosher than Dynamo for the pressure power. And then Swig as a roller does what Dynamo wants to do, but a lot better. Which is painting the map and actually playing the support role. Like, just doing that. If you remember Splatoon 1 Dynamo, it had the best paint in the game. And its strength, it had made up so much for its weaknesses. And this is literally Splatoon 1 Dynamo, just without its kill range. And it has better mobility. And ink efficiency as well. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the kits next. So, the vanilla swig. It has swash wall. I mean, decent sub for it, sure. But it takes 60% of your ink tank. You get 4 flicks after that. It can help against burst spam, and it can help you take fights a lot more aggressively. But however, well, the swig wants to be painting a lot anyways. So I guess it just gives it a more aggressive type of playstyle. But, however, this thing fumbles super hard with this special. It is the worst special in the game right now. Once you vacuum, you literally lose your main weapon for 8 seconds. And something like a crab tank can fill up the power instantly, and because you are so slow with the special, you are so vulnerable that you can get lasered so easily. Or if a Splatana rushes you as you're using the vacuum, they can rush you, and if they do get in front of you, they can kill you directly with the charge slash. So that basically forces you to move. And someone with a zip caster can zip through your vac and do damage directly. So you want to move against a zip caster as well. And the vac shot, here, let me get vacuum real quick. It travels atrociously slow, but it leaves a path. But it's not going to hit anyone. It's going to be very easy to dodge, because... Well, it's very easy to dodge, because it travels so slow. Yeah, not great. Okay, we're going to look at the Swig Express. So it has angle shooter. This thing's way too situational for this weapon. If you need to move quickly, then your vertical flick allows you to do that already. And you see its damage, it does 35. Sure. But your flick already does that anyways. I mean, sure, you can do stuff like that, but it does guzzle your ink tank. So, the vertical horizontal combo is already reliable as is. So why use angle shooter? The main weapon's already good, so there's no reason to use this whatsoever. Well, you can use it and hope someone gets located, but that's about it, really. Something like Point Sensor Ink Mine would have been better for location. But here's the thing. So it has Ink Storm. Really good for it. You get an ink tank refill. And unlike Vacuum, you actually keep your main weapon. Like, let's say you're a Swig, and you're painting a zone. You're contesting a zone, for example. So you can literally paint, and then use your ink storm, and then you continue painting zone while you're displacing others. And a Swig contesting a zone is already annoying enough, by the way. And because Swig, well, the Swig's chip damage is already good. The Ink Storm increases its DPS significantly, and the paint as well. And it just makes Swig a lot more threatening. Well, with the Swig Express, you're going to be painting 1800 to 2200 per match with its S1 Dynamo playstyle. The Swig Express is the better Swig, despite it having a terrible sub for it. Because all it needed was a special, to be honest. So the modes. Here we go. So with everything it does, it's a really good spot zones option. Because what I just mentioned, it can literally contest the zone easily. It has a special, it has a displacement special, and it can fight all of that. It can be okay on tower, but probably not the greatest. Even though the Swig user wants to be on tower. Rainmaker, the vanilla Swig might actually be better. Because it can literally play a lot more aggressively. With the wall. And clams, the express is obviously better. Because you need a displacement threshold with how bad the maps are. And just like zones. So like, if you want to be more supportive, you can literally play the express. But if you want to play more aggressive, then you have the vanilla swig. With its wall. Yeah, which is some nice options for it. Okay, guys, that's gonna be it for me. So, what do you guys think of the swig? You should let me know below what you think of the swig right now. Or, yeah. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you do enjoy my content. I won't be making much videos, but I'll be doing some content from here and there. So yeah, make sure to subscribe if you're interested. Anyways, I'm gonna be out. Take care. I will see you next time.